Well, hey, welcome back, FMT100. So this is our first lab, and it's the labs are going to be weird. I'm going to tell you this right now because, well, they're virtual, which kind of sucks, but we're going to make the best of it. So today's lab is we're going to be looking at voltage testers and how voltage testers work into a lockout tagout procedure for electrical lockout tagout. So right off the bat, one, you're not going to see my face throughout this one, and I'll show you why in just mere moments. But we're going to start off with some basic voltage testers. You're going to probably have one of these in your pocket at some point. They're great for, is this thing live? But I would use this as a general indicator, not as a final, yes, this is safe to work on. So once again, these are great for, hey, is this live? Do I have to be kind of really cautious about it? Uh, but double check with something a lot more precise than this one. So these are non-contact voltage testers. Yes, these are both by Klein. No, I'm not selling Klein. It's just the group that I prefer. All right. So there's different ones out there, but this is Klein. So I've got two different styles here. This is a combination voltage tester as well as laser measurement device. You'll be seeing this one again. And this one is a non-contact voltage tester and infrared thermometer. So yeah, let's just take the cat out of the bag here. So yeah, that's the temperature where I'm at right now. Inside the lab, it's 94.8 degrees Fahrenheit, 95 degrees. So yeah, I'm sweating baguettes and buckets and whatnot. And that's the reason why you're not going to see my face. I've got the hot face, as Fluffy would say. So yeah, it's not a pretty look. So we're just going to skip that one. And we got our laser one here. This one's kind of nice. Just kind of get off to the side here. So it'll give you the distance from you to the entrance for the laser right there. But what's really nice is these will also do voltage testing. And as we get further into lab, I'll show you how these work. We'll actually be focusing on this one, as I've used this one more times than I need to. So I'm trying to take this one out of service and focus on this one. So this is the one we'll be using for lab. All right. So let me switch out here, get these guys turned off. So these will also have an auto off feature as well. If you don't use them for a few minutes, they tend to time out, so that way it conserves battery on them. Trying to get my poor little place all done up. So that was non-contact voltage testing. The other style, and just about everybody else, is contact. So the fun part with non-contact is you don't have to touch anything. You don't have to touch a voltage. You just got to get near it. But to know really what's going on, you are going to probably have to get up close and personal. And you're going to have to put probes on. So this is a contact tracer or voltage tester. This is affectionately known as a wiggy. And this style is known also specifically as a solenoid voltage tester. So inside here, this section right up here, this is nothing more than a coil of wire, a winding. So as you put your probes on your points where you're trying to test to see if there's an electrical potential, that puts a voltage across the coil and creates a magnetic field which pulls down a plunger, which you can almost see the little orange indicator right there. That's pulled down. And we've got two different scales here. We got a DC scale and an AC scale. And the higher the voltage, the more pull it has, and so it'll pull that indicator further down. All right, but catch, the smallest voltage we could really possibly see for DC is 120, and then for AC it's 120 as well. So that's the catch. And for this tester, we only go from 120 to 600 volts. So this style of voltage tester is not used as frequently anymore. You'll see some old timers have and use them. I still have one out of demo. This was my first voltage tester. Um, it also has a secondary means. You'll see an indicator flag over here as well. So these have a nice buzzing sound when they're operating. So you get not only the visual, but you also get the auditory. Hey, yes, I'm working. The drawback is with a lot of the newer electronics and processes going on, we have what's known as transient voltages. We'll get more into that in FMT 104. And with the transient voltages, we'll have a voltage that will slip through that is much higher than our rating here. So once again, this is a max voltage of 600. It's easy enough to have a transient voltage of like 1200, so 1200 volts. And it takes these poor things and turn them into hand grenades. Yes, the voltage exceeds the lacquer insulation on the coil, causes it to short out, and when it shorts out, it creates a miniature arc flash inside the unit and then propagates to your hand. So yeah, you're holding a grenade. So these have fallen out of favor because of that problem. Their replacement is a glorious solid state wonder. We've got technology that caused the problem. We've got technology that's going to help solve it. So this is a solid state unit, and much like its predecessor, the Wiggy. So this I coined this phrase. This is a solid state Wiggy. It's kind of a misnomer. It's really not a Wiggy. A Wiggy is a manufacturer of a solenoid voltage tester. This is a solid state voltage tester. Once again, it's by Klein Tools, but there are others out there. All right, Ideal and Greenlee both make decent solid state voltage testers. You do not need batteries for these. A good quality solid state voltage tester, you do not need batteries. This will operate with no batteries. The only reason why you'd have batteries for this one is for continuity testing. That's it. If the batteries die, you don't hear that. And that says, yes, you have a complete circuit. All right. That's the only reason why you need batteries or the flashlight. That's what this little button here is for. I don't use the flashlight for this. I have a flashlight that I carry with me. So this one, once again, you still have to put the probes on to test the voltage to see if you got a voltage difference or a potential difference between one probe and the other one. And note the scale. This is both DC and AC, and our minimum voltage for both is going to be 12 volts. Very, very, very nice. So yes, you could even use this troubleshooting your car. 24 volts, you can use it for troubleshooting, well, a diesel motor, or the electronics for a diesel motor. We've got 48 volts and on up. So 48 volts is for a lot of low voltage. Then we got 120, 208, a lot of single phase stuff in older places, 240. Yep, that's for our homes and other places. 277 lighting, 480, 480 volts, well, more like 460, but 480, that's going to be for just about everything industrial. And then for more things industrial, we also have 600 volts. The other nice thing is this has been rated in several different categories. So we've got Cat 4, it goes up to 600 volts, and Cat 3 is 1,000. So I will be including information on that categories in FMT 104 as well. It's essentially where you are in relationship to the power supply, the electrical supply for a facility. All right. And what you're trying to do is you are trying to get away as far away as you possibly can from that power supply, because there's a lot of potential there in more ways than one, not only electrically, but also for current as well as power available. And you don't want to get tied up in the power available side. So we're going to put this guy to the side. We're going to get the sports car of the contact world here. So And that is going to be a digital multimeter. Oh, dear Lord, I'm going to actually have to back out a little bit. Whoop. As you get to see everything's off to the side. There, I'll make it clean now. So this is a digital multimeter, currently set on alternating current. It's auto ranging, so it's in millivolts. You take our probes. It's got some nice retractable covers on the probes. It should give me very, very little, but there's always going to be some funky residual stuff because we're dealing with electronics. I can also do DC. It's auto ranging. Once again, this is the same Cat 3, Cat 4. So this will go all the way up to 600 volts safely. And what's nice with this is for transient voltages, this will, much like this other solid state one, it will be safe for transient voltages. So it may fry the unit, but it's not going to turn into a grenade in your hand. Digital multimeters are great because you can start using it from other different things as well, different testing. Once again, FMT 104, we get to go into that in depth. Lucky you guys. So we'll do not only the voltage for AC and DC, but we'll also start looking at resistance. This is continuity, testing diodes. And then we start looking at current. So this is milliamps and regular amps in both DC and AC on these guys. So digital multimeter, like I said, this is the grand sports car. This is the, yeah, baby, top of the line right there. Yep. Well, wherever there's a top of the line, well, there's not. And for the not top of the line, for contact voltage testers, there's this abomination. I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit on this guy. So this is known as a neon voltage tester. And you can see you don't get a lot of flexibility out of this. It's really short. You have to be really close to your testing points. Not a lot of flexibility. And all it's going to say is, yes, there is a voltage. This one's rated from 80 up to 250 volts AC. You're thinking, wait a minute. 80 volts? All right, that works. And then 250 volts AC. That's it. I didn't say anything about DC voltage. This guy's claiming, it's been a while since I've actually looked at it. Yeah, it's Cat 2, so category 2. I use this guy as a demonstration. That's it. This guy, and I just picked this guy up, this little one, primarily as demonstration. So once again, we've got two different voltage scales here. We got AC and DC. So the orange is DC, but we start at 32. Oh, shoot. Let's go in a little bit. Waka, 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 waka. We start at 32 volts DC, and we go up to 330 volts DC. And for the AC side, we start at 24 volts AC and go all the way up to 240 volts AC. So this would be okay a little bit for doing some industrial stuff, but in all reality, I wouldn't trust it. Yes, it's spike line. Yes, I understand that. Yes, it's also category 3 rated, but it's only category 3 rated to 350 volts. That's what you see on the little clip right there. Great for a little pocket if you have a small low voltage project, perhaps. But if you're doing anything industrial, anything commercial, no, I would go with either a solid state voltage tester or a digital multimeter. So that is like I said, these are the Yugos of voltage testing. Yes, they're there. Yes, you can almost use them. I would not trust your life on them. That is just my personal call. I tend to use the solid state or the digital multimeter before I would even rely on these. So the only reason why these would be around is if I had them in my pocket. This guy is part of an old troubleshooting bag. I called it my jump bag. And I'd say, yes, there's a voltage, and that's about all I could do. This one is going to replace it. But once again, this is just yeah, there's a voltage, I think. I wouldn't really use that for complete reliability there. So we're going to pause. I'm going to set up for the lab demonstration and just give us a moment here, all right?